In the last 4 Call of Duty Zombies games, we have seen 4 different microtransaction systems for each and every game. And if we're being completely honest, only 1 out of the 4 was even worth noting, whereas the other 3, they were forgettable at best and useless at worst. And that's exactly why today I want to talk about the microtransaction system that I believe they should implement into Black Ops 5 Zombies. And how I want to do this is by looking at what was successful in the past, but then also looking at some of my own original ideas and try to figure out what I personally believe to be would be the best microtransaction system for zombies.
Curse you, Richtofen. Somewhere in this broken city, there is another Nikolai.
I can't think of a better place to start than talking about the only successful microtransaction system than the Black Ops 3 Gobblegums system. And one thing I strongly feel they should bring from Black Ops 3's Gobblegums system to Black Ops 5's whatever system is going to be is easily the overpowered Gobblegums, and really all of them, but mainly the overpowered ones. And let me kind of explain what I mean by that, because I know there's a lot of people, especially back in the day, who hated all of the overpowered Gobblegums. They absolutely despised it, and I personally liked it. I thought it did a lot for the game, and I'll explain why I think that's in a second. But I'm not saying that they should bring back every overpowered Gobblegum. I'm just saying bring back the Gobblegums that were useful to strategy and optimization. So I don't want Gobblegums that were overpowered for the sake of being overpowered to return, like things like near-death experience and power vacuum, and we just don't need Gobblegums like that. They're just overpowered for the sake of being overpowered, and we don't really need them. Instead, I want to use Gobblegums that are helpful for strategizing in the Zombies game mode, and let me explain what I mean by that, because what I personally believe rather makes a Zombies game or a Zombies map or breaks it is its replay value, because replayability is just the thing that keeps zombies alive. Like, it is just it. If you have it, you're it. If you don't, you're just not it. And that is something that Gobblegums were so good at doing, giving you multiple reasons to come back and play it, by giving you multiple ways to play the exact same map, play the exact same Easter egg. And examples I want to use are the Easter eggs themselves, because there were so many different ways you could play Easter eggs by using Gobblegums. Like, obviously you could go with no Gobblegums, you could play the Easter egg like that, or you could only go with classics, which is pretty much the same thing. But then if you wanted to optimize your game for many different ways, let's just say you wanted to optimize your game just to do the Easter egg on the lowest round possible, you could do that. You could use the right Gobblegum, shopping free, the one that gives you points and all that stuff, and profit sharing, all the stuff that everyone thinks of when they're thinking of trying to get everything done as low as round as possible. And this is something that I used to do in the past, and I think the No Thumbs crew does currently. They like getting them as low as possible, and I really like that because that's something I was obsessed with back in Black Ops 2. But regardless, it's another way to come back and replay the same Easter egg over again. And also, if you just want to, not sweat during Easter egg, you can optimize it to where you make a specific Easter egg as easy as possible for you. You can just use your perkaholics, use your shopping freeze, get it done as early as possible, or as fast as possible, or just as casually as possible. And I know some people don't like that because they'll say that they're cheesing the Easter egg or something like that, and I do have to agree that I used to feel like that. But after a while, I started to realize not many people do Easter eggs, and if Gobblegums open access to a larger audience than there would be without Gobblegums, I think in the long run that's only a good thing, because a lot of people don't get to experience what a lot of people consider to be the best part of Zombies, which is the Easter eggs. And if you could at least open that gate for even just a slightly bit more people, then I think that's only a good thing. But of course, there's finally the main reason why I think overpowered Gobblegums are good, or just Gobblegums in general, or useful Gobblegums are good in general for zombies, and that is speedrunning, because speedrunning was huge in Black Ops 3, and that was because of the Gobblegums. It was not any other reasons besides the Gobblegums, because ever since the Gobblegums, we have not seen any speedrunning being taken nearly as serious, and ever before that, you didn't see it either. There's a way to word that properly, but I don't know. But regardless, it was solely the Gobblegums, the reasons why Easter Eggs for Charity existed in the way it did, because of Gobblegums, and that was absolutely huge, because it really does let you try to figure out how to play the game in the fastest way possible, in the most optimized way possible, and it gives an extra level of strategy that you don't normally have to take into consideration. It's completely optional, but it's there for the people who want that extra strategy to their Easter eggs, and that is what's so great about just using Gobblegums in general, but then using them for doing the Easter eggs as fast as possible, and it is just something that I find so amazing. Honestly, my favorite part of it is not the fact of just, beating it at the fastest as possible, which is the, payoff part, but the best part for me is trying to figure out the best strategy, trying to figure out which Gobblegums you got to use, trying to figure out when is the best time to use them, and that is something the Gobblegums did for Black Ops 3, and what I wish they would do for Black Ops 5. But I've been talking about it for too long, so I think I've made my point there why I want, useful, I shouldn't have said overpowered, I should have said useful Gobblegums to return in Black Ops 5 Zombies. Gobblegums are useless if they're not implemented properly, and Black Ops 3 did them right and Black Ops 4 did them wrong, because by the end of Black Ops 4 season, it pretty much had all of the overpowered Gobblegums that people normally use for speedrunning Easter eggs that they did in Black Ops 3. But the problem is that you can't dashboard in Black Ops 4, and I think that was a huge mistake, because nobody's willing to use their perkaholics, use their shopping freeze on test runs for speedruns, and that's something that is required for you to do when you are speedrunning Easter eggs. You have to go trial and error, try to figure out what works, what doesn't, when should I do this, when should I do that, and all of your failed trial runs, or just your trial runs, they have to be failed, but in your trial runs, in Black Ops 4, you lose all your Gobblegums that you use there, or I guess elixirs in Black Ops 4, but in Black Ops 3, you didn't lose them because you could dashboard and keep them, and that's something that is the reason why people figure out the best possible ways to complete Easter eggs as fast as possible, and that's why I think dashboarding should return inside Black Ops 5 Zombies. But if you don't like the idea of dashboarding, which I understand that maybe Treyarch and Activision wouldn't like the idea, I think there is a compromise we can make here. And I don't know if they'll like this one either, Activision Treyarch that is, but we just have to increase the earn rate exponentially, and I mean exponentially, for every type of Gobblegum in the game. Like, you need to have a lot of them. If you're going to be wasting your Gobblegums on test runs and trial runs, you're going to need to have a lot of them in stock if you're going to be willing to waste them like that, and that's something they absolutely need to focus on. If they don't plan to bring back dashboarding, they need to let us have a ton of them, for we do not end up like Black Ops 4 where everyone's too scared to use their elixirs. We just don't need another situation like that. Now, the last thing about Black Ops 3 that I think it did really well was Newton's Cookbook. Newton's Cookbook just needs to be in Black Ops 5, but it needs to be there at launch or soon thereafter. It cannot show up after DLC 4 like it did in Black Ops 3. I mean, it was fine for Black Ops 3 because, it was a new thing. It was nice that they were adding things after DLC 4. I think it was after DLC 4 at the very least, and that was cool, but that's already something that existed in Black Ops 3, so it needs to be something rather at launch or very soon thereafter. It's just something that has to be there to just give people more opportunities to get the Gobblegums they want. So believe it or not, there are some cool ideas from other microtransaction systems besides Black Ops 3. And the next one I want to talk about is Black Ops 4's contracts, because contracts made it so easy to earn Nibolium Plasma. It was just amazing. It was just the easiest way. Like, the normal way of earning it was just kind of a pain, but contracts made it so much easier to earn Nibolium Plasma. Like, before the contracts compared to after contracts, my Nibolium Plasma skyrocketed. period. Like it was not even close. And that's why I'm saying that at launch, or again soon thereafter, we have to launch with a contract system. It just has to be there because it was in Black Ops 4 during its lifespan, but now it has to be there at launch or again soon thereafter. But there's only one change I would like to make to it, and this is something I believe was a thing in World War II Zombies, but I'm not entirely sure. But I think that yes, most of the time the contract should be for Napoleon Plasma or Liquid Divinium, whatever the currency is going to be in Black Ops 5, it doesn't matter, but there should also be options to earn direct Gobblegums or direct elixirs. There should be a challenge where you could directly earn a Perkaholic, directly earn a shopping free, or directly earn Undead's Man Walking. Those should also be there for you can know that you're just not spinning for your chances and just seeing if you get the right thing, because then instead of having to take a chance, you just need to know complete this challenge and you'll get this. Of course, I agree the challenges should be a little bit harder, but they should definitely be there because it'd be something being worth it. And also make the contracts for the casual players and then make contracts for hardcore players, the people that do Easter eggs, go for higher rounds and stuff like that. You should have contract reach specific rounds and complete specific Easter eggs. I think that would also be huge for the contract system.
Perhaps in some other life I was garbage collector.
But talking about the Liquid Divinium or Napoleon Plasma system itself, this is something that I was kind of confused on what we should probably do for this. But then I started thinking about how you earn Liquid Divinium in Black Ops 3 and how you earn Napoleon Plasma in Black Ops 4. Because how you earn it in Black Ops 3 is by, I think, getting kills, but mainly making purchases. That's what I could tell from how you mainly got Liquid Divinium. But in Black Ops 4, you got Napoleon Plasma by just being in game. Like, it didn't matter if you were getting kills, it didn't matter if you were doing anything, you were in game, so you know you got points. So what I personally believe they should do with Black Ops 5 is make a small merger between those two systems. Yes, you should get a set amount for just being in game, but you should get a bonus amount for doing activities in the game, whether it be making purchases, getting zombies kills, completing Easter eggs, getting to even higher and higher rounds. Those should be things to increase the Liquid Divinium or Napoleon Plasma you were earning in that specific game. I think that would just incentivize people not only to play longer, but to do things while they are playing, and I think that could only be a good thing for the Zombies game mode.
Good to see you, Tank.
Now with my final idea, this is probably my only truly original idea for the microtransaction system in Black Ops 5, and I'm not entirely sure if it's realistic or not, but it's something that I really hope they do. And this is reward players by doing specific tasks in games by giving them a specific Gobblegum, or at least a guaranteed, let's just say epic Gobblegum, or a guaranteed legendary Gobblegum. And let me explain what I mean by this. So you could do this by rounds, or you could do this by doing the Easter egg. Let's just say if you complete an Easter egg, you get a spin at a guaranteed ultra rare Gobblegum or a guaranteed epic, whatever the system's going to be. You get a guaranteed that for completing the Easter egg, or maybe just guarantee them a Perkaholic. It doesn't matter, just guarantee them one or the other. And maybe to reward the high round players, you could say if you get to a specific round, whatever you decide it's going to be, let's just say 30 will give you a legendary, 50 will give you an epic, and then, you know, every few rounds from there going forward would give you more and more. Maybe if you get to round 100, you get, you know, a lot of epics, you get a lot of random epic spins. And I think that this would only be great for the Zombies game mode. And the reason why is because, like I keep saying, or have at least said once throughout this video, is that what a zombie game lives and dies by is replayability. And this would add more replayability because people would have to do things in game. They would have to do Easter eggs to earn epic Gobblegums directly, or get to higher rounds to earn epic Gobblegums directly. And they would have to play the game over and over and over to get these, to unlock them more and more often. And this would add more replayability. But then it's not just going to be replaying it for the sake of replaying, because after that, you could then use the Gobblegums or the elixirs that you earned by playing these Easter eggs over and over again, or getting to these high rounds over and over again. You could use those to change your experience, to earn them even more and more often. And that is what I really want. By completing real Easter eggs, real high rounds in game, you get rewarded for doing so, because currently our only rewards are Nobolium Plasma for getting to high rounds, or again Liquid Divinium if you were looking at Black Ops 3, or of course XP. That's your only incentives for doing these things. But if we give even more incentives to do Easter eggs, to do high rounds, I think that would only make the game even better. And honestly, I think this would be the coolest thing they could possibly do for Black Ops 5's microtransaction system. But regardless, that's all I have to say. I love to hear what you guys think about my ideas. You guys like them, dislike them, you think I'm wrong somewhere, think I'm right somewhere, you think you'd expand on an idea, or have a own unique idea of your own. I love to hear all those thoughts down in the comments. But that's about it for me. If you guys did enjoy the video, go ahead, do all the normal YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, bell, share, and all that great stuff. But I'm going to go, and I'll catch you guys next stream, video, or whatever it may be, and later, guys.